We are here today, and I'm so excited to introduce to you Krista Healy, the owner of Healy Chiropractic. And you can see that we are sitting in miniature chairs, and we have this little friend of ours next to us who seems to be a miniature skeleton. Why?
Because he's so cute.
I know, but why are we in miniature chairs in a chiropractic office?
Because I treat a lot of pregnant people, and usually after they have the baby, they bring them in.
And do the babies, do you treat babies?
I treat babies and I treat toddlers. I treat all ages. Yeah, everybody. But lately it's been a lot of teens, but that's probably because I have teens myself and I end up treating everybody on their team.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
How did you get into chiropractic?
So pretty good story. I was in my third year of pre-med, determined to become a medical doctor.
Really?
Getting ready to write my MCATs and figure out what school I wanted to go to. And me and my girlfriends were on the way to a bar, and we got T-boned by a drunk driver and pushed into a telephone pole. And I went to 5 different medical doctors, and they did nothing for me. They just kept telling me, oh, you're young, you're only 19, just keep taking Advil, you'll be fine. Pain. I was in so much pain. I had chronic headaches, neck pain, low back pain. I was having a hard time studying. I was miserable. And they would do nothing for me. Nobody would refer me to a chiropractor or physical therapist, nothing. They just kept telling me, oh, you're fine, it'll go away. And finally, after about
multiple different doctors,
because every month they made me go back for a re-exam, and I'd be like, no, I'm still hurting, because they wanted to shut my case down. I'm like, no, I'm still hurting, and they're like, oh, keep taking the Advil, keep icing, and they did nothing. And I was like, wow, they really suck at musculoskeletal stuff. Finally, my stepdad, who was a car insurance adjuster, he was like, you gotta go see a chiropractor. Everybody always gets better after a car accident when they go see a chiropractor. I was petrified, so scared to go.
Yeah.
And finally I did it, and I think I got adjusted twice and I never had a headache again. And I was like, ooh, what is this wizardry? Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
And I kept going to him for other stuff, because back then I was kind of crazy. I did skydiving and all that kind of stuff. So I was always like,
they're like, our perfect patient, she'll be back for more.
Right, yeah. And he was like, you should be a chiropractor. And I'm like, I can't be a chiropractor. Chiropractors have to be 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, male. I can't be a chiropractor, you're crazy. And he was like, no, I just graduated with a guy that's like 120 pounds, 5 foot, you should go shadow him. So I went and go shadowed him, and I was like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it.
Why did you think that you had to be tall and big?
I just thought you had to be super strong to do it, because it's a lot of, jumping on top of people and cracking bones and moving them and stretching and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just thought you had to be huge, because every chiropractor I'd ever seen was huge. And then I decided to shadow a woman that had 3 kids, made her own hours, all around her kids, made all the pickups, drop-offs, sell the sports, everything, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a chiropractor.
So you have to do MCATs?
Yeah, I didn't do the MCATs, and it was the same prerequisites to get into chiropractic school as it was med school, so I just finished out my degree, and then instead of applying to medical schools, I applied to chiropractic schools, but I ended up in California because I was in Canada. I went to the University of Victoria, British Columbia, and the only English-speaking chiropractic school in Canada had a 3-year wait list. And I was like, I'm not waiting 3 years to take a 4-year program. Yeah. So I was, okay, what's the next best school? And it ended up being in San Jose. So I went to Palmer Chiropractic College.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah. And I've been here ever since.
Wow. So how long have you been licensed?
22 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been in private practice full time, or did you do any internships or?
Well, when you are in chiropractic school, you have to do what's called a preceptor post-septor, where you have to work for somebody for a year, so they can teach you all the stuff they can't teach you in school. Like insurance billing, how to deal with staff, all that kind of stuff.
Like the business side.
The business side, yeah. So I did that for a year in San Diego, and then after that I went into business with some friends for about 5 years, and then I met Ryan and moved to Santa Cruz, and I've been here ever since, and just kind of had my own thing.
So do you have a specialty that you focus on as far as patients that you treat and what you love doing in the practice?
Yeah, so the technique I do, my specialty is diversified, and that's the manual adjusting, but I also have activator and drop table. And I'm kind of a jack of all trades. When you first graduate, well, when I was in chiropractic school, they were like, oh, you're a female, you should really specialize in female, women's health, right? Mm-hmm. So I got certified in what's called Webster technique, and that's a technique that we use on pregnant women.
Okay.
To try to open their pelvis as much as possible, keep their spine in line, work on the round ligaments, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you get chiropractic during your pregnancy, you can reduce your labor and delivery by 50%.
Wow.
So, but of course, when you graduate, you're dirt poor, so you have to go where the money is.
Yeah.
And we ended up working for a guy that did strictly work comp and PI.
Okay.
So it was all med legal stuff.
Yeah.
and I became a qualified medical examiner. And then the next clinic I worked at was really big into sports. We treated the indoor arena football guys, the Riptides, and all that kind of stuff, and insurance. But it wasn't until I moved to Santa Cruz where I was like, no, I'm on my own now. I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do pregnant women. So I joined the birth network, and I just treated pregnant women.
So that,
but I do everything.
okay.
Yeah.
So like 90% of your business is
Probably about 50% of my business is maternity, and the rest is sports, car accidents if they have med pay. I don't do work comp anymore. I used to work for Santa Cruz Real but not anymore. And then, and just teens, sports injuries, people who commute over the hill and sit at the desk all day, just everything.
that really messes you up, huh?
It does, yes.
All right. That's why my watch always tells me stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of what you do? What's your favorite part of your job?
Probably treating pregnant people and making them comfortable throughout their pregnancy, and then having a great labor and delivery. That's probably one of my favorite parts.
Do you see them during their pregnancy, and then do they come back and tell you how amazing that everything went?
I know, and I'm so mad after 22 years. I wish I had kept stats. So like, who ended up having an epidural? Who ended up having a C-section? Who ended up, I wish I,
Krista, we gotta go backwards.
Right? But I have to say, on average, I have amazing results, and it's really satisfying. And then people come back with their baby, and I check the baby, and
that must be really
and then next thing you know, the whole family's coming.
Yeah.
That's hence this.
Right. Little play section.
Yeah.
What are the biggest challenges for you in this business or this industry?
Insurance. Insurance is horrific, and unfortunately, after being in it for 15 years, I had to get out.
So you do not bill insurance anymore?
No, if people have PPO insurance with out of network, I'll give them a super bill, and then the insurance will reimburse them because they're way nicer to them than they are to us.
Yeah.
But
I just heard that, unfortunately, like over and over again.
Oh, it's
any
horrible.
medical industry stuff, it's like impossible to get paid.
Yeah, it is, because it got so bad that my CPA sat me down and he's like, do you know by the time you bill and you pay your staff to fight it and write rebuttals and appeals and all this stuff, by the time you finally got paid, you've made no money and you're working for free. You have to stop taking insurance. It just wasn't cost effective anymore.
Wow.
And I was petrified to do it. But 2 weeks after we had that discussion, and I talked to my business partner, and she was like, we were both petrified. We didn't know how we were going to do it or why we were going to do it or whatever.
It's scary to change.
2 weeks later, we had a fire, and we looked at each other and we're like, it's a sign. If we don't make a change now, it's never going to happen. So after that, we got rid of staff, lost the X-ray machine in the fire, went from like a 6-room thing to this is the only stuff that got saved in the fire.
This is all you need, right?
It's all we need. And we stopped taking insurance, and I give people discounts. I have student discounts, senior discounts. Yeah,
that's really sweet.
And then it's way better, because before I'd be like, okay, you need this, this, and this, but your insurance won't pay for it. So
you're not going to get any of that.
Yeah, either don't get it, but you need it, or you have to pay out of pocket extra. And people it was so hard. Couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, that's really it's sad. I mean, it's a sad world we live in, but
it is. But I'm optimistic things are going to change. I keep hearing a lot of stories about direct doctors who have monthly fees where instead
like a subscription.
Yep. Yeah, just like going to a gym, and you can come in and call them anytime you want. You pay like $90 a month or something, and you just do that kind of thing. Or there's also hospitals, I think there's 3 of them now in America, where they don't take insurance. You pay them a monthly fee, and you can come in and get whatever you want done. No denials, no waiting for authorization, nothing.
That's so actually brilliant.
And the insurances don't reimburse well enough. Like, they literally pay you to spend 5 minutes with a patient, and I'm not that type of doctor. I like to spend 20 to 30 minutes with everybody when they come in.
Yeah.
Because we'll do some traction, and I'll do some stretching, and I'll do some massage, and then I'll adjust you, and then we'll try to figure out what you're doing wrong that keeps making this chronic, and try to, okay, today we're going to talk about sleep, today we're going to talk about driving, today we're going to talk about sitting at your desk, just all that kind of stuff. So with insurance, I could do that.
No, they're like, you have 10 minutes and then you got to get them out.
Yeah.
So tell me about your process. It sounds like you sort of just started to dive into it, but tell me about your process. You have a new patient that comes in, they want your treatment. Like, how does that work? They come in and...
Yep, they can just call or text me. We'll set up an appointment. I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and Tuesday, Thursday afternoons until 8 for all my commuters and moms and students. And they fill out some paperwork and do an exam on them, and then, like I said, traction, and then the adjustment.
What's traction? You show me.
So this is my roller table.
Want me to push a button? You can lie on it.
Yeah, you want to lie on it? You can lie on it. You like it. So this is called an intersegmental traction table, but really...
Is my head going?
Yeah, your head's going to go down there. You're like flat on your back. So there's a big roller inside. Do you ever use a foam roller?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a big mechanical foam roller. And what it does is it goes up and down your spine, and it tries to force motion into all your vertebrae and massages your spinal muscles. Like pregnant women love this thing.
I would want to take this thing home with me.
Yeah. And then like I was telling you before, I have a pregnancy-friendly table. So it comes up like this. Well, it goes up as you get bigger, and then you just go on it like this, and that way you can go face down your entire treatment.
Elle, can you conduct the rest of the interview? What is this called again?
Well, the technical name is intersegmental traction, but we just call it the roller table.
Roller table.
So I have people come on this, they do it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we talk about their day, what's going on, their stresses, how they injured themselves, that kind of thing, since the last time I saw them. And
do you only treat people who have injuries, or will you treat people that just have like, no, I want to be the best version of myself?
Yeah, no, I do have a big wellness practice where people just want to stay fit, stay active, have somebody in their life that just keeps them on track with, you know, their eating and all that kind of stuff, and keeping active and just keep everything aligned so their neurological system works perfectly and the muscular system is symmetrical and everything. And those, because chiropractic research has shown, all the journal articles, that if you get body work or chiropractic every 6 to 8 weeks, you can actually prevent flare-ups.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of my patients, once I get them out of pain, they'll stick to the wellness program and just try to stay out of pain forever.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
What's a flare-up?
A flare-up is like an acute, where you're having massive pain, inflammation, swelling, muscle spasm, loss of motion. That's a flare-up.
From usually
When you're
an
in
injury, or?
Yeah. It could be anything: sleeping wrong, driving too much, lifting your kid wrong. Yeah, that's why I had to pick a place that has no stairs, because I have a lot of people come in here all bent over.
Oh, yeah.
People have a really bad stigma. They think that I'm going to crack a child like I would an adult, where I'm just going to take a baby and be like, you know, no.
They're like, let me get that neck for you.
No, they're not ossified. They're just all cartilage. It's just literally, it's, yeah. And it doesn't take much to fix them. You know, if you take a, tiny little twig growing out of a plant, if it starts to lean over, you put a little stick there, tape it to it for a little bit, and then it'll start to grow straight again.
Right.
But an adult, it's like a big redwood tree. Sometimes it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, you can't be all
takes
right.
more visits. yeah. But babies, they heal so quick. I've adjusted my kids since day one, and they love it. They beg for it. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come in here like all bent over, haven't been able to move, and they've been to their medical doctor, and they've been to urgent care, they've been to ER, they've been to their doctor, it's gone on for weeks, months, whatever, and then I adjust them once, and then they're standing up straight, and they walk out here, and it's just so rewarding, and it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But
that's really cool.
Probably the coolest thing. Or somebody who's been dealing with headaches forever, and nothing's worked for them. They've tried everything, and then finally they get their first adjustment, and it went away. They never had one again, or that kind of thing, or now they know how to manage it, or I help them figure out what their trigger is, and then they avoid it for the rest of their life, or try to anyway.
Yeah
Because I know my trigger now, after having that car accident, is if I fall asleep on the couch, guaranteed my neck's gonna hurt the next day. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna need an adjustment tomorrow.
Interesting.
So I just don't fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah,
Just don't
you're
do it.
like, I'm gonna sit up on the couch and I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, don't turn off the lights, don't put a blanket on me.
So how do you, we were just talking about these like little vertebrae over here, how is like that furthest one, is that preventative? Like how can you keep a healthy spine and vertebrae?
Yes, so this is considered the
skeletal
phases,
structure.
the phases of degeneration. So it just kind of shows each phase that happens. So this is normal, textbook normal, nice and fluid-filled discs, and then they desiccate, dehydrate, they get smaller. And as they get smaller, typically the hole where the nerve gets through gets smaller too, because it's made up of the vertebra above and the vertebra below. Then your body recognizes that as being unstable. There's no contractor on site to tell it where to lay down the bone. So it lays down spurs everywhere. Sometimes it can go back into your spinal cord or into your nerves. And then once again, the holes get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then this becomes fusion, where you basically need surgery at that point. But I kind of see rust or arthritis as rust. So say that hinge on that door had some rust on it. The worst thing you can do is just shut that door and never open it again. Basically, the rust would just build until it finally fuses itself like this guy. Mm-hmm. But if you keep opening and closing that door, exercise, yoga, chiropractic, everything to keep it moving, add a little bit of WD-40, joint serums, MSM, glucosamine chondroitin, kind of lube it up a little bit, and just chiropractic to keep it aligned, and traction to open it, and then keeping the muscles symmetrical so they're not pulling one side over the other. you can prevent your arthritis from getting worse with chiropractic. Yeah, I've kept a lot of people away from having surgeries over the years too, which is really satisfying.
Yeah, I bet.
That's a good part of my job.
Yeah. Even if you feel good or not, come see Krista and she'll make you feel better. Healy Chiropractic. That was like a commercial.